When your beliefs about what you want are in alignment with what you want, then you really feel wonderful, and you are on your path, on your way. You are having the experience of satisfaction and living happily ever after. But when your life causes you to focus desires into place, but aspects of your life also cause you to focus in opposition to those desires, then you don't feel good. And it really comes down to which part of this vibrational mix you give more of your attention to. If you could give more attention to your desire and less attention to your doubtful belief about it, then your desires would come to full fruition faster, and you would have more satisfaction along the way. Because under those conditions, even though it has not fully manifested, when you're believing that it's coming and you're enjoying the process of the unfolding, then you're having a good time anyway. But if you are not believing that it's coming, so you stand in a sort of continual tension, wishing that you could take the desire back, but you can't, because your inner being is all over it, fanning the flames of it, attracting to it. You wish you could take it back, but you can't. So you really have no alternative if you want to be happy, other than finding a way of believing what you are desiring. The thing that is a little tricky about that is that you are accustomed to your observation of life, and you are continually checking your progress about what is. So if what is currently manifested is lacking some of what you want, you tend to notice it because you want to be realistic. We don't want you to be so realistic about what already is, because when you are locked on to the current manifested reality, then you don't allow room for expansion or for ease of expansion. You sort of hold yourself in a holding pattern of uneasiness. The thing that is most important for you to hear in the coming into conscious, deliberate balancing, talking about you balancing, the vibration of you moment by moment. Now, the way your frequencies match up, there are a variety of ways to accomplish that. Appreciation certainly is one way, but if you are focused upon something that is causing you to not feel appreciation, you can't just flip on your appreciation switch, because law of attraction will not let you make that jump that fast. Law of attraction is bringing you things that are very much like what you've already got going on. So if you are focused upon something that has you feeling pretty bad, and you know you're not in vibrational alignment with your vortex, and so you are right now blocking or stifling or hindering or certainly not letting in what you want, better said, you're not in a position where you are receiving the revelation that's being offered. And by the revelation, we mean your inner being knows where you stand in your physical body in relationship to every single thing you want. Your inner being is saying, if you would go over there and then 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 over there, it's going to take a while, then over there and then over there and then over there and then over there. Not only would you have a good time going over there and 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 over there, not only could it be satisfying with every step along the way, but you will come to a full realization of what it is you are wanting. But if you are focused other than upon being in the receiving mode, so that you receive those impulses and those thought impulses or more, those thought impulses that then become thought movement, that become an impulse to do something, that become a rendezvous with things that you want along the way. If you are in a different frequency, then even though the revelation is happening because your inner being knows and is revealing, don't you like knowing that? Your inner being knows what you want and where it is and where you are in relationship to it, and is giving you constant turn-by-turn guidance about it. But if you are bummed out about something, if you are angry about something, if you are upset about something, if you've chosen to get your feelings hurt about something, if you are making someone else the reason that you are feeling bad, if you've turned over all your power to someone else, if you're looking for a conditional reason to feel good, if you're needing to see it before you believe it, then you might be missing every clue. but it doesn't keep your inner being from offering them. And it doesn't keep you from occasionally being happy by accident and stumbling on one every now and again. We just want you to understand that you can be happier on purpose. You can choose more satisfaction along the way. You have more control over how you feel than you've been giving yourself credit. And we know for sure that if you would stop focusing upon trying to find something that you can't find from a place of not being able to find it, and instead focus upon just feeling a little better right now and not trying so hard to bang something into place, that more often you would be in the receiving mode, and more often you would receive the impulse, and more often you would feel satisfaction, and more often you would experience the joy of your life experience. And so it goes. We have some harsh news for you. You're not ever going to get it done. Someone told Esther many, many years ago, "Don't worry, honey, you can rest in heaven." And as Esther got to know us, she wanted to write that person a letter and say, I don't think it's that way. I don't think we're resting in peace. I think that we are exuberant in life all the time. You like that, don't you? Yeah. There is no death. There's just more life. The deadest that it can be is you. You're as dead as it gets. You are. You're as dead as it gets when you pinch yourself off from what you want and feel unhappy. That's as dead as it gets. Living enough life to want and then holding yourself apart from what you want. That's dead, and unnecessary. So when you begin to realize that your inner being is focused upon what you want, and you let your attention be upon getting into the receiving mode, the art of allowing your connection to this vibrational frequency that is you, then there's a passion for life, an exuberance for life, a satisfaction step by step that is nearly indescribable, and that even if we do describe it to you, it's not meaningful to you until it happens to you. And it's really not meaningful to you until it happens to you because you did it on purpose. When you begin to exercise deliberate control of your own vibrational frequency by adjusting your vibrations because you're looking for emotions that feel like satisfaction rather than dissatisfaction, now you're really on the trail. Now you're really on that path. So the harsh things that we want to say to you is, you never get it done. And the reason that we want so much for you to just take that on the chin and understand it in the way that we mean it is because with everything that you desire and then subsequently achieve, you also achieve a new set of contrasting experiences that causes you to launch more rockets of desire. So your quest for expansion will never cease. It's what we are all about, this joyous, eternal unfolding and becoming, not toward any end, but toward constant, joyful unfolding. And think about it. When you are an eternal being, you want it to be that way. You want steady contrast to cause an evoking of constant desires to which you can find vibrational alignment so that you can experience the joyful unfolding of. In other words, that's what it's all about. And so your vortex is in a constant state of unfolding. And it's getting bigger and bigger and riper and readier. The question is, are you ready for the content of your vortex? Are you ready to receive it into your experience? Because it will not assert itself into your experience. You have to allow it in. This is law of attraction. This is law of asking. This is law of receiving. This is no law of assertion. Sometimes you say, well, I will just wait. And when it is really important, then God will insert into my experience the things that are appropriate. And we say, you got to ask for it. And then after you've asked for it, it will be ready for you, but you've got to get ready for it. And that's what we are all about in this gathering today. We want to help you to figure out how to adjust your vibrational frequency so that you're more ready for the reception of the next step and the next step, for this continual, eternal, life-giving, unfolding treasure hunt that you are upon and that we are upon with you also. So, what do you want to talk about?
That's good to see you again.
Yeah.
Can you help me understand tolerance and intolerance? And is there even a place for tolerance in my own reality? Is it something I have to deal with? Is it something I can just let go?
It is one of the most ineffective, unproductive not good for you emotions that you could ever foster and encourage. Because what it is a looking right at something unwanted, feeling the guidance of the being off track, and then the learning to accept it as a feeling that you are willing to endure.
That's good.
In other words, we get it that it's a good idea not to misbehave in public. They might drag you off an airplane. We understand that sometimes you just have to kind of suck it up and not say anything. But when you deliberately practice recognizing an emotion that doesn't feel good, which means every time my inner being is looking at this differently, but I'm choosing to stay focused upon it in opposition to my inner being, so the knot still remains in my stomach, but I don't do anything about it. And in fact, in an attitude of seeking tolerance, most humans would say tolerance is not liking it and just accepting it, while intolerance might mean not liking it and throwing a fit. Well, maybe it's better not to throw the fit, but it certainly isn't good for you to look at something unwanted and not do anything about adjusting your vibration. It's like the difference between empathy and compassion. Empathy is looking right at something uncomfortable and just holding myself in that discomfort, while compassion is being in alignment first, and then from my state of alignment with my inner being, then looking at whatever the subject is, but I don't feel the discomfort of it. Instead, I see it through the eyes of source. And because I hold my vibrational stance, now I'm bringing to the table, I'm bringing to the mix pure positive energy, which means I might influence the whole room upward under those conditions. With empathy, I just have to go down to meet it. Where with compassion, I stay with who I am. So I don't take a dip in my vibration, which means I might not help them, but I don't hurt me. And there's a stronger probability that they may come upward if we're able to play together longer with me feeling and behaving in my physical form like my inner being always behaves. Esther said to us early on when she began understanding emotions and where we stood in relationship to her. And one day, in the midst of strong negative emotion, she said to us, Abraham, I think you should come over here with me so that I don't feel so bad. Because she knew the reason she felt bad was because we had different vibrational frequencies and she had moved so far from who she really is. So she tried to talk us in to coming there with her so that she wouldn't feel the separation so much. And we said, you got to come where we are. You got to come where we are.
Thank you.
Everything that we're talking about, in fact, is about being less conditional. Because it's really hard to be so, here we are in this physical manifestation part, wrapped up in the details of what's already manifested, which as far as we're concerned is old news. So here's this life experience that you're giving your attention to, and as you give your attention to it, then you want to feel good, of course, and so you become, as an individual or as a parent or as an employer, as a mass consciousness, you become demanding of the details of your reality, because when you look at something that feels good to you, you say, oh, I'd like more of that. And when you look at something that feels bad to you, you say, I want less of that. So you start passing laws. We will not stand for that. We want more of that. Problem is, you can't come into any agreement about what you really think you need in order to feel good. Have you noticed? Different people want different things, and the world is a big enough place for you to all be able to find satisfaction in the diverse world in which you are living. But when you believe that that condition has to change before you can feel good, now you are attempting to control the uncontrollable. You see, you've got to find a way, and that's what a lot of people call tolerance. I know I can't control it, so I'll just suffer about its existence. But that suffering festers until there are rebellions, have you noticed? Where unconditional love or unconditional alignment is because you are no longer believing that over here where all the flavors already chewed out of the gum is where it's at. Unconditional love is where you understand that there is a vibrational reality that is in the state of becoming, and you give your undivided attention to the unconditioned. You give your undivided attention to what you are wanting to allow to become.